Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but first, the usual disclaimers, and I'm going to take a drink of liquid breakfast here. Alright, folks. In the description box, you're going to see the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by Autistics for Autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article and share on all your social media. We also have NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. We also have the links to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school that takes in troubled male teens based out of Stockton, Missouri that has, and counting, over 21 lawsuits against it that are alleging sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional and psychological abuse, starvation, and many, many others. As of right now, we've had one staff member arrested by the FBI. Another, a former doctor that was on the premises, is now facing charges on multiple substantiated accounts of sodomy and sexual abuse against its students there. So please, folks, they've kicked the can down into next week. They keep kicking the can and not actually following through and shutting down this school. So please read these articles and share them on all your social media. This needs national, not just local pressure. Okay? Elections are coming up. We need Eric Schmidt to feel the heat. We also have linked in the description box the change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. Again, sign it and share on all your social media. We also got the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Also, this channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity on this channel and we talk about some pretty dark subjects. So parental advisory is advised if they are, under 16 and younger. All right. It's also 4:44 a.m. in the morning. I'm not awake. Not at all. So if I stumble over my words, folks, apologies in advance. All right. Okay, so let's go to where we left off last evening here. More insanity, I'm sure. The goal of the treatment programmed opportunity procedure is to weaken the stimulus control that certain antecedent events possess with respect to the student's inappropriate behaviors and to strengthen the stimulus control that those events possess with respect to appropriate behaviors. Oh, for fuck's sake. So again, this is under the assumption that we gain something out of these behaviors, whether it's psychological or otherwise. It provides some type of stimuli for you. Oh, it doesn't. Okay? If we're talking about the self-injurious behavior or the meltdowns, no, it doesn't. It doesn't provide me with anything except problems and more problems. Now, if you are referring to stimming, which is not hurting anyone, it just makes you feel uncomfortable, well then, fuck you, okay? Fuck you, JRC. okay? Inappropriate would be like streaking down the street, for example, okay? Me flapping my arms or twisting hair bands as a means of self-regulation, a form of keeping myself calm, is not harming you or anybody else for that matter, and actually acts as a good basis to keep myself regulated and under control so I don't go into self-injurious or more aggressive behaviors. But we want to do it with something that's appropriate. No, you want us to be like you. That's what it's all about, folks. That's what the whole medical model is when it comes to autism. They keep trying to hammer a round peg into a square hole. They don't care if it doesn't fit. They think if they just keep hammering, eventually it's going to fit together. It never does. Okay? It's never going to happen. But all treatment seems to be formed around this idea of making us more normal. It's never going to happen. My neurology is never going to change. I'm always going to be autistic. The only thing you get by drilling this crap into my head is teaching me how to mask. And we've already gone over the repercussions of doing that, especially for a prolonged period of time. It is ridiculous that we live in this world that insists on inclusion and love and acceptance, except when it comes to us. No, you see, we are never accepted as who we are. Our autistic culture is looked down as some type of fable, okay? We are literally not allowed to be ourselves and be included. Nah. We have to mask and pretend to be normal to be accepted in regards and in the eyes of the medical community, alright? I've dealt with this shit for years. I've been around long enough to know. It would be one thing if the medical model simply was assisting us in better being able to handle a world that is not really built for people like us. Reasonable accommodations, things of that nature. It's an entirely another when you are basically demanding that you throw a young kid, starting like about around between ages 3 and 5, into what they call early intervention. What is early intervention? Some of it's good. You've got speech therapy and other things that are actually beneficial. And then you've got ABA, which is what they're really referring to. You are starting kids young to force these round pegs into square holes. That leads to a lifetime of frustration, trauma, and self-loathing. Okay? Stop it. Moving on. Treatment program opportunities would fit into a total behavioral treatment package for a treating behaviors such as pulling false fire alarms. Few other examples of behaviors that might be treated with treatment programmed opportunities are stealing, playing with matches, and showing aggression response and teasing by one's peers. They're taking token incidents. This is what the JRC is famous for. They'll take token incidents and they'll use it as a means and a way to justify their insanity. Okay? Let me be blunt with you. A good majority of us aren't stealing or playing with matches. And why the fuck is it a bad thing? But like, you're showing aggression when you're being teased. Let me tell you what that actually means. We're not allowed to respond if we're being bullied. We're just supposed to take it. No, I'm not kidding. Yes, I experienced this in real time when I was going to public school. If I dare stood up for myself, if I said anything in my goddamn defense, guess who got in trouble? That's right, I did. Remember, the teacher went to my mom and told her I needed to be the one to go to the psychologist because I wasn't making any friends. No, it didn't matter that the kids were bullying me relentlessly and never ever stopped. No, I must be the one with the problem. So let's make young, tiny little Tiffany go off to meet the psychologist. Let's not deal with the fact that the entire class was jeering so that the classes down the hall could hear it when the teacher wasn't in the room. Let's ignore that. No, but Tiffany doesn't have any friends. Yeah. So that idea isn't just prevalent at JRC, it's pretty much everywhere. We're not allowed to stand up for ourselves. We are supposed to continue to turn the other cheek time and time again. Because in the teacher's eyes, well, they're just teasing you. They don't mean anything by it. Why do you take it so seriously? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? And we're talking about the 90s, folks, when we had school shootings going on, and yet, yeah, cute, right? Real cute. Also an example, more often than not, we're not the ones pulling the fire alarm. You want to know who's pulling the fire alarm? I'll fucking tell you. It's the goddamn neurotypical kid who wants attention. Every single time a student did that, it was always a dude who was going to say, hey, watch this. And there's me. Don't you do it. No, you do it. You're going to get us all in trouble. Yeah. But they'll blame us, though. Also, a lot of times when we are doing those types of things in class, it is because we have enormous peer pressure on us to do so. And then we're the ones who get in trouble. But those who pressure us into it, well, they're just neurotypical kids. You see what I mean? Those double standards, they start early. They start young. And thankfully, I had a mom who was very just straight and blunt with me in regards to how I should be expected the world to treat me. That it wasn't fair, that they were going to come down harder on me than they were on anyone else. And she helped me find a means to, fight back in a way that was actually productive. Thank you, Mom. But yeah, everything that they're saying here are token incidents. Nor do they give any context to those incidents. You notice that they never do, right? Whenever they bring up these token incidents as a means to defend themselves, they never provide any context. Interesting, isn't it? So, what are we seeing here? It's that same double standard that is prevalent throughout ABA and all behavioral treatment in regards to people like myself. We have to be more normal than normal. You know what I mean? More normal than normal. We have to act in a manner that the medical model considers normal, that romanticized idea of normal, that they do not place on the shoulders of neurotypical kids. Okay? And then they provide token examples as to why it's necessary when it's actually not. Not at all. And I'm going to close out on that note this morning. We don't get very many reviews on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.